back to the channel. So yeah, about, I don't know, 10 hours ago or so, WrestleMania had finished. It wasn't amazing. It was quite bland, if I'm honest, and there was points where I kind of switched off and even drifted off going to sleep. So this is why I look like a bag of shit, because I stayed up till about 5:30 watching it, and I don't regret it, but I kind of wish it made it worth staying up for. It didn't really. There was some good points and some bad points, which I'll go through during the video. So I don't know what you thought. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of WrestleMania. On Instagram, the general consensus seems to be it was shit. So I'm guessing that's what some of the comments is going to be. It just, yeah, I feel like shit. I feel like I've been rock bottomed, stunnered, speared, and then pedigreed one after the other, and then maybe kicked around some more after that. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to stop talking. So yeah, positives from WrestleMania, if you can call anything from that a positive. First things first, it has to be the women's title belt. Like, they officially announced that they're going to retire the Divas belt, thank God for that, and actually present a women's WWE Championship belt. We've been waiting for this for ever since they announced the Divas belt, because let's face it, it just looks like a hideous kid's belt with a butterfly on the front, and it just mocked women's wrestling. It was just nice to see it like equate to what the men's belt looks like, but it's white this time, so it's just nice to have that balance. And yeah, even though Charlotte won it for the first time, I'm sure we'll see people like Sasha Banks win it in the future, but it just looks like an actual respectable belt for WWE, so kudos for that. It took you long enough. Following that, you had the triple threat match between Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Sasha Banks. This was, without a shadow of a doubt, the best match of the night. It had everything: technical ability, good wrestling props, it had emotion, it had shocks, it had different parts where you thought Sasha was going to win it or Becky was going to win it. Then you had Charlotte do a figure four and you thought she's going to win it, but then something would crop up. But it was just a bit of a blow how Charlotte did win it. She's been a good heel, but at the same time, having Ric Flair by her side, he's been a bit of a pain in the arse, as much of a legend as he is. I just think that I think if she lost the title to someone, it might rekindle that affection what we had with Charlotte when she first came out. She was the baby face, she was new, everyone liked her. She had a Divas Revolution, I hate that term, and then she just turned heel, and then she was a bitch, which when you turn heel, that's what happens. But I can't wait to see what Sasha Banks does, because she's really starting to do it for me in terms of watching how she wrestles and how she presents herself on the mic. She's a good heel when she wants to be, but she's got everything that a women's champion should be, and Becky Lynch as well. So those three are going to be the spearhead for women's wrestling. Then some part in the middle you had The Rock show up. I know he was billed to show up at WrestleMania at some point. No one knew what he was going to do or what he was going to say or how he was going to come about, and in the end he had like pyrotechnics, had a speech, had shouting like from Texas for the millions. Yeah, it seemed to go on longer than what it should have. Then you had the Wyatt family come out, and then you had him have a match which lasted 6 seconds, which apparently was a WrestleMania world record, which was, you know, it's great. And also they confirmed that the attendance was over 100,000. I think it was over 101,000 that was there, so that was great too. But then it just felt like it was going on and on and on, and it got boring really quick. I love The Rock, but I just think that this was not one of his finest moments, if you know what I mean. And then, just as well things were going to get ugly, John Cena pops up, who has been away for what seems like an absolute eternity. And it was just nice to see him back, because the company has missed him. Let's be honest, as much as people say John Cena sucks, the WWE at the minute, without John Cena, kind of lacks that bit of excitement, and that's why it's been a bit dry at the minute. You know, they've tried to get the Undertaker back, and they've tried to have like Stone Cold come back, and it's been a bit of a mess. So hopefully John Cena can like rescue the company a little bit. Then you had the Shane McMahon match against Undertaker, which was a bit crap. This is where I started drifting out of sleep, because I was just tired and also at the same time a bit bored. But it wasn't until like the last part of the match where it was just a flashback to Mankind versus Undertaker, and I think it was Undertaker, and he climbs up the steel cage and just throws himself off an elbow drop, misses Undertaker, and then just obliterates the announcer's table, which it was just like being back in front of a TV at being 10 again, the Attitude Era. It was just, that's what we've missed from Shane McMahon, just his tenacity to just destroy everything in his path and just show that he's got that heart still. And it was just nice to see him back wrestling. I don't know if we'll see him back after this. I don't know what the crack is from Raw tonight, so he might show up, he might not. I don't know if it's going to be a consequence for him not winning. So we'll find out. But yeah, him falling from the steel cage was one of the highlights as well. Then you had Zack Ryder win the Intercontinental Championship, which was unexpected, but I'll be honest, I had him down as my dark horse. I had Sami Zayn nicking it, but then when Zack Ryder did it, then that was just quality. Like, it was good because we wanted to see him come back into the main roster, and he's been down with NXT, rebuilding his career in a sense in the tag team, and it was just great to see him back and win this out of nowhere. I kind of wish I put money in it now because I would have won quite a bit, I think. But it was just so exciting to see something different, and I hope that he gets the right like stories and the right build up and the right like path to spread his Intercontinental Championship title over a number of stories rather than just what you see these days as a chop and change. And it just, yeah, it gets old after a while. But other than that, Zack Ryder winning it was one of the highlights. It was top 3 for me. So it would be easily the triple threat match, Zack Ryder winning it, and then this next moment coming up. So you had the League of Nations beat New Day to win the Tag Team Championships, and the League of Nations is hit and miss with everyone at the minute. It's just basically the sort of rejects of the WWE at the minute. So it was just different to win the title. But then you had King Barrett running his mouth, saying that no other team can come close to their ability. Then all of a sudden, HBK Shawn Michaels music just pops up. He shows up, and then the pop, unbelievable. Then Cactus Jack shows up, which when he's doing his bang bang again, an outrageous pop. Then just as you thought it couldn't get any better, we thought The Rock was going to show up. This is where we thought The Rock was going to show up. Then the glass smashed and Stone Cold's music dropped, and that delivered the biggest pop and noise I've possibly ever heard from a WrestleMania. And those three just caused havoc from the League of Nations. There was stunners, sweet chin musics, Mr. Sacco. Barrett got everything thrown at him from everyone, which was just great to see. There was beer, stunners for the New Day as well. It was just like being back in the Attitude Era. It's 10 years old. It was just class. Just stunners everywhere. It was brilliant. Then you had the negative aspects of WrestleMania, and it was just, I've got a few, so I'll start off right off the bat. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. The build-up was fantastic. The montages were fantastic. It felt like you couldn't tell who was going to win or who's going to come out on top. Would it be Brock when he attacked Dean in the car park, or would it be Dean when he kept getting like all these weapons off past Hall of Famers and WWE superstars? Then the fight happened, and it just like kind of, I don't know, just anticlimax, because it was labelled as a street fight, no hold bars, and I was expecting like serious like shit to go down. Like it would go into the back of WrestleMania, it would go like in the car parks, it would go into the crowd, and it barely left the ring, and it was pretty much over before it got started. I think it wasn't a very very convincing fight. It was just kind of like a step up for Brock. Which I felt sorry for Dean, because I think he's a fantastic wrestler and he's off his nut when it comes to like on the mic stuff, and he's one of the best. But it just seemed a bit rushed and a bit like lackadaisical, if you could say that about the fight. It wasn't for me. I was disappointed more than anything. Then you had the 10 tag team women's battle of Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde. Oh, this was just awful. I'm all for supporting women's wrestling. I've said it plenty of times during this video and when I've been watching wrestling or talking about wrestling, but this was awful. I mean, awful. There was botches left, right and centre. It just didn't work. I mean, it was nice to see Brie do well, and it looked like that was Brie signing off in sort of retirement and paid homage to her husband, Daniel Bryan, with the Yes Lot, which I enjoyed that. But, oh, it was just really bad. Like, finally, the main event of Triple H versus Roman Reigns. I've tried to support Roman Reigns as much as I can for, like, leading up to this, but, like, it was just, that's the hailstone hitting off my door.
It was at this point where I completely forgot to mention that Roman Reigns won the title, so
I just can't support him anymore. I think he needs to turn heel. Everyone's been saying it. He needs to turn heel, and I think he needs to turn heel on Dean Ambrose. That would make one hell of a story. For me, if you're putting Roman Reigns against his best friend who turns heel against his best friend, is the perfect fuel to light the fire in a story, to see them both go head to head, and then just have Roman Reigns just dominate everyone on the roster and being a dick about it. That would be great, but they're trying to make up John Cena, and he's nothing to John Cena. He's the anti-John Cena, so they just need to make him turn heel for a bit. Same like The Rock when he first came into wrestling. He was supposed to be this fresh meat guy, and everyone sort of took to him, and then everyone started hating him because he was too nice. So he turned heel, and now look where he is. So if Roman Reigns can turn heel, then do it. So that's it. That's what I thought of WrestleMania. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it 3 out of 5. It wasn't the best one I've watched, so looking like this now, maybe isn't worth it or wasn't worth staying up for. But fan of wrestling, I had to do it. It's a WrestleMania. If it was for any other event, I wouldn't do it, but it's WrestleMania. I had to stay up for it and watch it, and it was on late. It finished at 5:30, so I've had about like 2 hours sleep. So how I haven't crashed yet. I'm expecting it, but I haven't yet. But I'm fully expecting it to hit us like a train. So let us know what you thought of WrestleMania. Just put it in the comment section below. And was it good? Was it bad? Was it dreadful? Was it shit, as everyone's been saying? If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. I do apologise if I sound really like monotoned. It's been tough. yeah, subscribe, like, share, and yeah, it was a bit of a impromptu video, but I thought I'd jump in and take my thoughts on. But yeah, so I'll probably do another vlog at some point with the comics that I'm reading. So I'll speak to you then.